So we are live. What's going on, everybody? Let's see.
Hi.
Let's see who's here. I think we're gonna have to wait a few minutes, Monique, because hopefully everybody can find their way to this event. Let's just give them a minute or two to get here because I had to change everything over. Um, but all right. It looks like people are coming in now. We have one person here. It's two. All right. All right. Here we go. It's going up fast. Three. All right. All right. That's
All
what
right.
happens. That's what happens when you have Monique on the show, y'all.
Whatever.
it's,
All right.
it's never gone up this fast. Okay, I see.
What?
I
Okay.
see you, Monique.
Five.
All right. So let me say some of the people here in the chat. Hello, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Hey. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Sir, what's up, sir, ma'ams?
Completely.
As she says, sir, ma'ams.
Yep, sir, ma'am.
Sir, ma'ams.
Sir, ma'am. In here. We got brothers and sisters in here, like actual brothers and sisters.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's going on, Southern Boss Lady? What's up, Red Boy? I feel like I'm watching Atlanta every time I say your name. What's up, Red Boy? JJ Jr., what's up, fam?
Here right now.
All right, everybody. I guess we can go ahead and get this thing started. Looks like we got some people. Let's wait till we get about 20. Let's wait till we get about 20 people in here, Monique. How about that? We got 15. I know we're gonna pop it up a little bit.
Okay.
A couple more. There we go. 16. Everybody want to see what you have to say out here today.
Oh
there
my.
We go. 18. 19. Boy, I know it's gonna be a show full of brothers watching today. First time.
Don't start with that. Don't
First time.
start with that.
First time. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I am here with a very, very, very special guest, Free Monique. I know you all know her. Say what's up to everybody, Monique.
Hi. Very excited to be here. Very excited. Finally get to connect with you guys on a more personal level, personal tip, get to talk and chat, talk with this lovely man right here.
Hey, I appreciate it. Don't gas me up. Flattery only gets you everywhere with me. Look at the chat. Look at the chat. Hip to the dip. First comment. She fine. I told you, man. See?
Oh my goodness. What?
You're going to have to shake them off with a stick. So anyway. So let's start this conversation, Monique. So let's start from the beginning. How old were you? What was your age when you went into the organization?
I was born and raised in it.
Okay.
I was born and raised in and around it, I should say, because my mother was a regular Bible study. She was one of those that had 20 different people studying with her. Like they would give up on her after a while because she was just addicted to the love bombing.
Okay.
So, but I took the truth, quote unquote, took the truth for myself. 18 years old in Atlanta, got baptized at 20, and 5 years I was hardcore Jehovah's Witness.
Wow.
But I was still in the culture my whole life from 25 years. I was in the culture. So like no birthdays, no holidays, no nothing, none of that.
How was school for you?
School was discouraged as far as like higher education goes, but just like elementary.
You were so little, you were born in. So how was school for you when you were little? Did you get to do things that other kids did in school, or were you an outcast at school as well?
I wasn't an outcast. I was just in my own little lane, so I honestly didn't even notice the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice it because, I mean, there were a lot of factors too that have to do with that. I mean, I was like one of the only people of color in the school, so that's one thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then, just the fact that I was extremely independent-minded. Like I didn't care or think about the holidays like that. When it came around, it just came around. I was so used to blocking it out that it wasn't anything.
Gotcha. So you say you were one of the few women of color at your school?
Yeah.
How was that? I didn't know that about you. I haven't done a lot of research as far as looking at any of the other interviews that you've done, because I told you I didn't want to do that. I wanted this to be an authentic conversation. So
Yeah.
how was that for you, being someone of one of the few people of color growing up, dealing with that, and then also having to deal with being a Jehovah's Witness as well?
So, okay. So, like in the earlier parts of my life, up until I was about 8 years old, we lived in the projects of Hartford. All right. We lived off Albany Avenue in the north end of Hartford. My mother moved us to the suburbs. She moved us to Weathersfield. And so I spent the majority of my life there. And I was going back and forth, with family, back to Hartford and so on and so forth. In high school, the last year of high school, because I went through a major depression after this elder passed away who was very close to me. He was like a father figure to me. I went to Hartford Adult Ed. And so I spent my last year of high school there. And yeah, that's what it was.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So what made you, when did you start thinking about being a pioneer in this organization?
The minute I got baptized, I'm very ambitious. So it was like, that was an immediate goal. I was like, I'm just going to go as far as I can. I want to go to Bethel. I want to go to Gilead. Like, that's the type of stuff I was saying. I just want to, I want to go as far as I can. I want front row seats at Armageddon. I want a mansion in paradise. Like, I want the best of the best of the best. So yeah, that's.
Did you pick out your pets that you wanted after?
Yes.
Because I always wanted a tiger. I wanted a pet tiger.
Wanted the peacock.
You wanted a what?
I wanted a peacock.
A peacock. Okay. So, did you legitimately want to get baptized when you were young, or was it any type of peer pressure that made you get baptized?
No, it was I never wanted to really. It's weird. All I knew was that organization really growing up, and then I had my own little moment where I so-called went in the world or whatever when Chris passed. It was when I got really lonely in Atlanta when I was on my own trying to go to school down there that I linked up with the witnesses and then decided then that I wanted to get baptized. And seriously. I felt like someday I would. I just wasn't rushing it when I was younger.
Really? I know personally, just speaking for myself, I never really honestly wanted to be a Jehovah's Witness.
Really?
But I knew I had to, because everybody, like my mom was, of course, my best friend was, everybody I knew was. So I figured that if I didn't, I would get disfellowshipped or disassociated either way. But it was just that that fear of losing everything was so much greater than my not really wanting to be a Jehovah's Witness, because it was everything that I had known growing up to that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know I didn't really want to be one, but I did everything anyway because I wanted the benefits of being one. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It does have a shimmer to it. It has a glow, a shimmer, like this picture perfect in a weird way. I don't know why I would want this, but like this 1950s perfect husband, perfect house, perfect. Like you just think you're better than everybody. You know what I mean? Like you're on top. Your morals are amazing. Your kids are happy. Everybody's smiling. And I think that's like people who are raised in an organization, that's what they aspire to have. Because you hear so much about the negativity out in the world and people getting divorced and the divorce rates being high and all of this negative stuff. So you just assume that the witnesses got it. You know what I mean?
What is do you have any really pleasant experiences from being a Jehovah's Witness?
I do. I do. I had good friends. I had really good friends in that organization in the moment. I know that they are brainwashed, so they can't snap out of that to like, so we can continue our friendship the way that it was. It felt very genuine when I was in it. There are older friends that I really bonded with too. Like there was one I used to clean for. I used to just go over there clean for her. You know what I mean? And she used to give me goldfish. Like it was things like that. Those types of relationships I had. I miss that. And it was positive. But there were also a lot of negative things. But I didn't realize they were negative until I left. You know, like they were affecting me negatively. You know what I mean? Like the Kingdom Melodies.
Oh, dude, I don't even want. Dude, I swear to God, there are some times where I'll be doing something so far away from the organization, and one of those damn songs will pop into my head, and it will stay there, and it'll be like "Life Without End at Last" or some shit, or what's that other one? "Walking in Integrity." Do you remember these shits? Like, and I remember.
Oh my God!
I remember thinking when I was younger and singing these songs, like the world's songs. Even though I didn't like gospel, the world's songs were so much cooler than our songs. Like, our songs were so lame, and
It was so whack.
so
like
lame.
Oh my God! Wait, where was it? Myriads and myriads.
Myriads, yeah. Oh my God, myriads and myriads.
Oh, I used to go in the bathroom over that song. I was like, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it.
What's that one? What about the one where you had to echo the last part again? You know what I'm talking about?
With the parentheses? Hell yeah. With the parentheses, I'm not doing that. No, not doing it. Not doing it.
You be like, where did I go? Firm for his rule. Take your stand. Take your stand. I'm like, man, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Horrible.
Oh my goodness. So I remember we are gonna go down memory lane tonight.
Yes.
I remember
thinking about
what are you thinking about? Tell me. Spit it out.
I was just thinking about this is Jehovah's Day. It was so
blessing supplicate. Oh man. Oh my God.
No, not doing it.
What about wearing the name tags? That used to make me feel so lame.
It was like, honestly, it's weird because it now looking back on that, we were really set up to be business, like sales people. Like that's what you do at a networking event. You wear these freaking badges. So like you're walking around the assembly hall with your name, you know, and they'll have the title of whatever the discussion is. So it's crazy because I think they do that also at the assemblies just to show everyone, because anyone can go to an assembly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reporters, anyone, low key, whatever, government, and anybody can go to. And if they see these people walking around with this polish and these little tags, everything looks so professional. You know what I mean? So they get away with so much on a business, and it's crazy, that organization.
Yeah. Especially with the conventions, they make so much money off of those conventions, man. I think I want to do a show about that too. They really work the conventions like a real business. Like each person that comes, that they project to be there, is figured into the head count for the monies that they think are going to come in for the convention. It is planned down to the person. These people know what they are doing. It is not just some love fest. It's a love fest with a purpose to make a bunch of fucking money. And they do it extreme. No matter what you say, how crazy these motherfuckers are, They know what they are doing. They are very efficient at
Yeah.
milking people.
Yes. Every hour, the brother comes out and he comes out with the numbers. All right. So we're exactly at this number. And see, there's strategy to that, because when you come out with those numbers, it makes people feel secure. Like, oh, see, this is all donations. And then that hypes people up too. Like, oh, the numbers they're getting higher. So you feel good about that. But it's weird. All of that is weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. I mean, they selling new books. I mean, think about it. What a great way to what is a better thing to do than to have 30,000 people assembled in one place and all of a sudden introduce this brand new sales item. Oh, here's this new item, y'all. Brand new. This is this and this is that book. And everybody goes, yay! And we have them right outside. It's so well done. I mean, these crazy motherfuckers are not crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you know what? The people, the main customers are the ones born in, okay? Because you're used to it. Being in the meeting from when you're a baby, sitting there, having it be quiet, sit there the whole time, you know, like, oh my God, and just seeing this constantly, you just go right in line with it. You don't even think twice about it. That's why they're in business like that. It's not because of a bunch of newcomers. It's because people are born in and they're used to the culture.
Have you had any type of conversation with some of the friends that you say that you had? And since you've left, have you had any contact with any of your ex-friends? Or are they still your current friends? Yeah, they were in the organization.
No, only one. You know, when I did that interview with Lady C, and I mentioned a friend of mine, Tanika, we connected. I was so excited. So excited. Yeah? My cousin saw the video, told her, you know, news travels fast, right?
Right.
I bet you I would not be surprised if people in my old congregations knew that I had this channel now. I would not be surprised. But it got to her within a day, and we connected. And it was just beautiful. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I got choked up when I first got on the phone. I'm like, do you have no idea? Like, you really helped me just by just being honest with me, being honest. Because she was very careful about how she shared the information with me about how she was suspicious that there was some trickery going on. And that really helped me, because I'm an open-minded person and I'm honest. I come from an honest place. At first, I was definitely kind of like blocking it a little bit. I'm like, well, but the worldwide work, you know, that was always a selling point for me. How is all of this happening worldwide?
So wait a minute, your friend was in the organization with you and she started getting suspicious and she told you some of the things that would make you later leave the organization?
Yeah, they were helpful seeds, I should say. They were helpful.
Really?
It was the water for me. It was the water. There were other things. But that was the thing that really helped me, because I didn't feel alone, you know, once I decided to make that move. Because this is the thing. When I got this fellowship, I got this fellowship, I was still like, okay, making my plan. All right, well, you know, I guess got to do the 6-month deal, you know, show up to every meeting, and, you know, because the thing is,
hold on, pause. I'm sorry to cut you off because you're on a roll. I'm sorry to cut you off. But since I was never baptized, I was never officially disfellowshipped. I mean, I was obviously I was having sex and stuff. If someone had found out, I would have been disfellowshipped had I been baptized.
Right.
But did you say that there's a 6-month thing that you have to do in order to come back?
Yes. Well, they want to see you coming back to the meetings, every single meeting. You cannot miss a meeting. Can't miss a step, can't miss a beat for a minimum of 6 months. And then they redetermine. They meet with you, and then you have that conversation. If you approach them and say, hey, you know, I've been here, because they check for that. They see if you're coming. Well, at the second meeting that I went to, right there, something told me, don't do this no more. Don't do this no more. Like, just don't. Yeah. It was a feeling. It was a feeling that I have. And I'm a very emotional person. And I just sat in that meeting, and all this extra, like, people, you know, doing all, like, just stop. I don't even know you. Like, just because a brother announced me, like, you don't even know me, so what is all this dramatics? Like, no. So that annoyed me, right? That was one thing. But just the feeling that I had, I said, something's not right. I said, Jehovah is not here. Jehovah's Spirit is not here. It felt empty. I just started unplugging from then on. Right there is when I started studying for myself. I stopped using the material and I studied the Bible itself. Then I started looking at the Bible and looking at other Bibles, and I'm comparing them. And I'm like, our Bible is carrying a different message than everybody else's Bible. How come 5 Bibles can get along and this one can't? Something's not right. Something's not right. Then I started doing research on that, and then I went back to, the early 1800s, and started getting materials and looking up the Bibles. Weird stuff. I was like, nope, not doing it. This is some craziness, cultish culture stuff going on here.
So when you were disfellowshipped, you don't have to share why. I mean, unless you just want. I personally don't care, but did you agree with whatever decision that they made in order to have you be disfellowshipped? Were you okay with it, or were you kind of messed up with it a little bit?
Both, yeah, and both, because this is the thing. I felt like I knew I was repentant, right? I was so loyal to this organization. I was in my mind to Jehovah God, right? Everyone's in there for Jehovah God. They're not really in there for the brothers, but what they don't realize is it is the brothers, okay? I was in there for Jehovah God. And so with having that feeling and emotion, I said, well, he's my father, so he knows my feelings and he knows where I'm coming from. The littlest thing would make me run to the brothers. My first episode, I just kissed this brother. We just kissed. That was it. And I was like, oh, we kissed. Okay. We did it at my house. And my grandma was there in the living room, and she's not a witness. She was back in the day. She's not anymore. Okay. And he was in my room by myself with me, door closed. So because they knew all of that, it was like, okay, here we go with the warnings, right? It was basically a 3 strikes you're out, you know what I mean? Because I had a second episode, little bit similar, but not really like that, but it was enough to, get them in the room and have a conversation.
You took the little room.
Yeah, right. In awkward conversation. And they were really trying, like they were digging. I was like this the whole time. I'm not going to dig. I just told you, I said, being here is enough. Okay. He's asking, he's like, so can you tell me exactly where he touched? I said, he touched.
That's so fun, because what's weird about this whole thing was like, okay, like I've shared on my other channel before, or my other videos, that I was trying to get baptized and my ex-wife's father came in and stopped it. Well, we went ahead eventually and got married, but she felt really guilty that we had sex before we got married. And me, I was like, man, I don't care. We done done this a whole bunch of times. There's no point. I mean, what am I gonna tell Brother Jones for now? I mean, we done it like an innumerable number of times. What's the point in telling them now? But she wanted to. So we ended up going and talking to the brothers in the little room. They were asking so many invasive questions, man.
Yeah.
They were like, and Brother Jones knew me since I was born, Monique. I'm telling you, he knew me since I was born. And this dude, I will never forget Brother Jones. He was a cool dude, but one of his fingers got cut off. So his hand always looked like that. And he would say stuff and he would do, and I would always look at his finger. It was so creepy. I was like, oh, Brother Jones, you cool, but your hand is so creepy. And so he was like, so what happened? And we was like, well, before we got married, we had sex. And then he was like, so where? where would you have this
Oh
sex?
God,
And I
no.
was like,
Mm-mm.
and what was messed up about it was that it was it was over my best friend's house, which is her cousin. My best friend was my ex-wife's cousin. So I was like, okay, so if I tell them that we was having sex at his house, then that's gonna implicate his whole people, his whole man's and them is gonna be in the little room. So I was like, man, okay, I mean, what am I gonna do? So it was like one conundrum after another conundrum, and every time I answered one question, it would lead to another question and another question. They started asking her, "How did you feel about it? Were you repentant? How many times did you do it in that place? Did anyone else know that you were doing it in that place?" There were so many questions that they kept asking.
It feels like you're at the doctor. It feels like you're at the doctor, but it felt like a perverted doctor. Like they were like, okay, where exactly did he touch and how did he do that? And where did he, huh? I was like, no. I said he touched. I refused. I'm not giving details. Y'all nasty. No, not doing it.
And I mean, it was weird enough for me being in there, you know, with her, but I could imagine because at one point they did like talk to me by myself and then talk to her by herself. So I know there's this whole weird thing of talking to some dudes, some old dudes, about where somebody was touching your privacy, like we used to say when we was little. You know, nobody wants to go in a room and talk to them about that shit.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. None of their business. Something's very perverted about that organization as well. I didn't really touch. I don't touch on that thing in my videos because it creeps me out to talk about it. But I think there's something very perverted going on in there because of the protecting. There's no good reason. I don't even think it's good business sense that you would protect pedophiles. Why would you even want that associated with you? You should want to disfellowship that pedophile. Get rid of him, right? You would think, but it's like they want to keep them in there to keep traumatizing these kids. Like something's not right.
I agree. That was the whole point.
The more trauma you have in your life, the more that Kool-Aid works on you.
Oh, of course. And that's exactly why even in my last live stream, I had that picture of Pennywise, because that's from the It movie, because that's what it's like. It's like this sickness that keeps everybody subdued. They are so sick that they think that by allowing those men who have done those things to be, quote unquote, like you said in one of your videos, handled by Jehovah, that they are being faithful witnesses of Jehovah, and they don't realize that they're really not. Even if Jehovah God was the real God, there's no way that God would want a man to not suffer the consequences of his actions for molesting a child. We all realize that. That's common fucking sense.
No one should tolerate that. Nobody.
Right.
And it really sickens me, you know, to think that people know about this in the organization and they're so brainwashed. They just say, okay, let's just trust the brothers. Get out of here. Get out of here. There's no way. There's no way. That's just one of those things that definitely burns for me.
Definitely agree. So were you reinstated after you were disfellowshipped?
Oh no, I stopped immediately after 2 meetings. Like that's when I started. That was when I went on my quest and started doing my research and got very turned off because I discovered that this was not the truth. Couldn't be.
So before we get into how you feel as far as spirituality now, we've touched on it in our test conversation when we were trying to test this thing out, but we didn't go all there because we didn't want to waste all of it on all that good conversation on this live stream. When you started pioneering,
yes,
talk about how you got into it. What made you decide to be a pioneer? Did you like it? How many hundreds of hours did you give away for free? All this stuff. How did you start being in the mindset of wanting to be a pioneer?
That was what I wanted to do since the day I went under that water. And I was grooming myself for it this whole time. I was like, I'm getting myself ready for this organization. Like anything they want me to do, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be in the forefront of everything.
Mm. Mm.
And when I was out there, I was doing more than what pioneers were doing. I was living, eating, breathing, doing everything that they said from the platform, like to the T. And I went above and beyond. Like I didn't just stay. I was very social. I didn't stay just in my congregation. I was getting time in this congregation, time in that. I didn't even know the friends over there. I would just show up in my little car. Like, hey, coming to service, what up? You know, like that was me. Like I was so extra. Oh my God. I was that girl. I was everywhere.
Did you ever did you ever witness to any of your friends?
Of course. Yeah, of course. The friends that I had that were in the world, yeah, but they didn't want nothing to do with me. After the first conversation, after me being in this organization, they didn't want nothing to do with me. They're like, oh no, she's nuts. She's gone. She's gone. Really? We lost her. She's gone.
Yo, that's so funny.
The other interview, they were trying to like reminisce because I went to college. I started college in Atlanta, gave it up for this organization. I should have never did that, right? But I did. And I'm also too, I can't be mad because I'm very grateful for where I am right now. A lot of things happen for reasons, whatever, but I gave up school, dropped everything for this organization, incurred all the student loan debt because I said the end's coming, so I ain't gonna worry about it, right? Killed my credit, murdered it. And then when I came back up here, some old friends from high school, we were getting together. I was meeting them up one by one. I had my Bible with me in my bag. I had Watchtowers with me in my bag. I was ready. We would go out to lunch, we'd go out to dinner, and I would not even entertain a conversation about going down memory lane. I would be like, well, this Watchtower says, you know, it's just dumb. Like, what is my problem? Crazy. Yeah.
You're bringing up so many feelings in me too. I mean, I remember being that way. Now, I will say one good thing too, that being in the organization did keep me from messing with little hood rat girls in the neighborhood. I will say that.
Right.
There were a lot of little hood rats that were trying to, you know, get at me when I was young. Cause you know, once the girls found out I could dance, first nobody wanted to talk to me at all. Like I was this little stinky breath, big head boy. I still got a big head. I can admit it.
What?
So when I was little, but when I was younger, look, Monique, when I was young, I was real skinny. I was super skinny, but my head was still about this same size. So they used to always make fun of me, call me little big head boy, you know, stuff like that. But then once I grew up and I found everybody's like, oh, he can dance, I became popular. But being in the organization did keep me from messing with a lot of those little hood rats. And I see them now and I'm like, man, I'm kind of so glad that I didn't mess with them hood rats. But that's probably the only thing, one of the few things that I could say that was good. And I remember having one good memory. You know, we used to have the quick builds and things like that, right?
Yes.
We had a quick build when they sold our old Kingdom Hall and, you know, loaned us the money to build this new one and then kept all the money from the old one.
They flipped this house. Get out of here. Go ahead.
They did that shit. They got us. They got everybody. They got us.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had the quick build and I was a teenager around this time, about 16 years old. So me and some of the other teenagers got to stay up all night outside and watch the Kingdom Hall to make sure, because our neighborhood was a pretty bad neighborhood. And if we didn't stay out there, somebody would have stole the whole building. So we had to stay outside that whole night and watch the Kingdom Hall. Yeah. But I can honestly say that of all the memories I have of being associated with Jehovah's Witnesses, that was by far the best memory I have, because we were outside all night. It was just teenagers, and then my one friend, it was named George McKeever. He was an older guy. He was like a ministerial servant, but he was cool. He wasn't like way above and beyond. He was cool. So we all stayed out that whole night till the sun came up, just talking and having a good time. That is the one good memory that I really have about being in that organization. But yeah, that's pretty much the it. So anyway, I never had a desire to be a pioneer. I really hated going out in field service because I didn't want anybody to see me out in field service. So how did you? I guess you had a natural love for going out in field service, right?
No. No, not at all. I made myself like it.
Really?
This is the thing. This is the thing. Anything that I do, I go hard, right? When you want something so bad, you'll do whatever you have to do. So I put aside my feelings about it and I just did it. And I said, well, this is getting me to paradise. Like I said, I want a front row seats at Armageddon. Okay. So if this means I got to knock on these doors, this is what we're doing. Like, that's always been my personality. That's who I am, but I hated it. And I was creative about it. Like, I would find creative ways to get time. That's why I always say on my channel, what are you doing here? You getting time? Is that what you're doing? Get off.
They didn't have the cart witnessing when you were still in, did they?
Oh no, but I probably would have did that too.
Wow.
I probably would have had a whole bunch of carts, lined up on every corner, right? Like anything they would have told me to do, I would have did it. And that's just how it was.
How many hours a day were you out in service?
Oh man, all day. I was going into the bodegas, bringing the tracks in there, talking to the guys. Like, I would just start conversation with them. Hey, what's up? You want this track? Like, just dumb stuff. Like, I was doing that. I was sending letters to funeral homes. People who lost their loved ones. I would send.
Man, that was smart.
Consoling them, but putting in a track with Paradise stuff. I mean, there were so many different things that I did. I was very creative about it. I was slick about it, and I was like one of those like bold ones. Like, I wouldn't care. I will go into a Walmart and be like, "Here you go,"
So you were out all day pioneering. Now, let me ask you this question. I remember when my ex, we were still going together. She was a pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
I was always just that bad. I was that dude that was good enough to be in most people's good graces, but I was.
You were on the edge.
I was right, man. I was so on that damn edge, bro. It was like, and she knew it too. I think that's probably why she liked me. Every time I would go to another Kingdom Heart, I would always end up with the one girl that liked the dude that was just bad but good at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But she was a pioneer, and she always had this this thought process that if she needed anything, the simple fact that she was a pioneer would make it to where she would get whatever she needed. Did you have that same type of mentality?
Yes.
Did it work? Did it work? Was it true?
For me, kinda.
Isn't that kind of interesting?
You know why? Because even then I was still using the law of attraction without realizing it. You know what I mean? Whatever you put out is what you get. So I was like, hey, I'm putting in a lot, and I do a lot for people.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a very generous person, right? Just giving. So I would get like, I mean, but I did have this superiority complex.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was the bomb because I was a pioneer. What? I was like, please, like, I deserve. Like, that was my attitude.
Do you feel like you got treated better in the organization or differently from before you were a pioneer versus after you were a pioneer?
That's a good question because, like I said, I was a butterfly. Like, I was all over the place. So I don't know. I think people just liked having me around, but I didn't feel any different in that way. I didn't feel like anyone had I wasn't given special attention by the elders or anything like that. Like,
did you ever have any experiences where any of the elders or brothers in the congregation made you feel like they were trying to push up on you in a weird way?
Oh God, yes, all the time. In little subliminal ways, especially at the assemblies. The assemblies was always awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Always awkward. Yeah, I did that. I was talking about that in a recent video. especially and you're walking around. But I'm not gonna lie, I was looking too, right? I was like, I was.
It was those bathroom breaks. You like, hold up, let me go out here real quick.
What? We would be in that hallway, like doing a bathroom walk, and it would be like, 3-4 times, get up, walk around real quick. Let me see if that brother with the purple tie is still up there. You know what I mean? Like, you walk around, you get your eyes zoned in on a couple of them, and then you like pick your one, you know what I mean? And then you can kind of see what his story is. You can tell his story by the end of the day. Right? So you're watching them. Okay, so who is he sitting next to? Oh, that's his mom. Okay, I see him getting up now. He's getting up, going up the stairs.
Yep.
Now here he come back down.
You try to get next to him in the lunch line. Maybe get next to the girl you try to talk to in the lunch line. Let me see what she eating. Man, she eating.
Yeah, let me get in his zone.
Get one of them hoagies and a Danish real quick. Let me see what she did. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then the thing.
They cut the food out, so that was a good conversation starter.
Right.
Lunch, get out of here.
But see, we used to go to the assembly in Six Flags, well, next to Kentucky Kingdom, and so we would all like the first time. I think I was like 17. My parents were like, "You can go ahead and go by yourself." So me and my best friend went to the convention. We're 17-year-old teenagers. Yeah. But we were still so dedicated that we were like, our parents were like, you can go to Kentucky by yourselves to go to the convention. Because they knew we were going to be there. I mean, there's no way we weren't going to be there. But the thing that we would do too is you would always try to see what everybody was doing after the assembly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you might be slick. You might slick try to be like, hey, we're going to all go and eat at such and such a restaurant. You can come and meet us there, and they would do that, and then he'd be like, "So where we all going after we get through eating?" And that's when the stuff would pop up.
Who house you going to? Right.
Who hotel don't get their parents there right now? But so anyway, so were the brothers? Did you have any like crazy older brothers trying to make you their little side witness?
All the time. The worst were the married ones. They're the ones who got on my nerves the most because I'm like, this is like so awkward and obvious, and I have to be nice to you. So this is like, what are you doing right now?
Did you ever talk to anybody about it?
No, I kept it to myself. I really, really played the, this is innocent game. But yeah.
So you pioneered. How long were you a pioneer?
I got baptized 2004. So it was like a year after that. And then I joined the French congregation. So up until about 2006, 2007, around that time.
Okay. So how did you step down from being a pioneer?
Because me and the brother touched this stuff. Yeah. So I was on private reproof or whatever it was, and lost my privileges. Yep.
Gotcha. Understood.
So this that was this time. Yeah.
Okay. So what happened to their brother?
Nothing. He was, he was the one, he wasn't doing anything in the congregation. He wasn't trying to really do nothing. He was just, he was going to school. And he was saying that he wanted to be a ministerial servant. But yeah, no. He was one of those, the brothers used to like shake their head on type brother.
Gotcha.
And they would discourage me too, like, please don't talk to him. And I'm like, well, he's nice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And he was what I liked about him is he always had a plan. He was very take charge type of a brother. He was very alpha. So I was attracted to that. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you start to investigate things outside of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the first things that you read or saw when you started your journey outside of the organization?
The Bible itself.
Okay.
The Bible itself was weird. It was weird when I started really digging in and going back to the late 1800s, early 1900s, and looking at those old Bibles. I was looking at the ones right there in the library at the Kingdom Hall, and it was weird. I was like, yeah, something's not right with this, because I started digging really deep at that point.
Okay.
And I hung up all of their material and I just focused on the Bible because I wanted to do personal study for myself. This was me. It was just me and Jehovah now in my mind. Just me and I felt dead. I felt empty. I was like, he's not here. He's not here. He's not here. This is made up.
Let me ask you a question before you go further.
That energy left me. Yeah.
When you say what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
do you think at that time you were actually looking for the energy that you would equate to the entity that you call Jehovah, or were you looking for the energy that you would equate to the entity that is the Watchtower masked as Jehovah?
I realized that that's what it was. The Watchtower masked as Jehovah. I realized it. That's when it all started clicking to me, that this feeling that I had about Jehovah was directly connected to the people and the literature and the propaganda. It was all connected. Once I left, once I wasn't there, it was like gone. You know, it's just gone. I was like, he's not here. He's not here. He is not here. Like, I just knew something was off, something was weird, something was wrong. The more and more I researched, and I was feeling weird about researching, but I allowed myself to do that because I said, naturally, there's nothing to hide. Why should there be anything to hide? I went with a genuine heart into doing my research, and that's when I realized, I was like, something's not right. And then it just took me down this path of me looking at other stuff. I refused to watch YouTubes because at that time we're dealing with what? This was 2009. Yeah, it's about 2008, 2009.
Okay.
YouTube creeped me out because people were foaming at the mouth. So-called apostates online. I was like, oh no, I'm not watching this. Like, they were talking crazy, they were sounding crazy, looking crazy, screaming, acting very strange. So I said, oh man. So I just thought they were like, demonized or whatever. So I couldn't. And then I just hung up everything all together. I said, you know what? I'm really disgusted with the fact that I got played like this. And I was mad as hell. I was mad. And then I said, I'm not doing religion at all. And that was after a while, because I did try to explore a little bit. I was like, maybe I should just go to a Christian church, but that's like, non-denominational. But then I couldn't bring myself to do that. And then I looked into Black Israelites for a little bit, and I was like, oh no, this is too culty. I'm not trying to get in a cult situation. And yeah, I just unplugged altogether. I said, all of this is a sham. And I realized, I said, all of religion is a sham. All of these are just little businesses just taking these people's money because nobody has the answer. No one does. If I don't have it, you don't have it. Like, seriously, I could make a religion right now. If I wanted to, I could make a religion. I could say, hey, he talked to me, God talked to me. And some people will listen to me. It depends on how good my sales is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what this is. A big ass hustle.
If someone were to say, free Monique, what do you believe right now? What would your answer be?
About religion and life?
Well, I'll ask you that question, and then I want you to answer it in whatever terms you take it to mean. What do you believe in when you close your eyes and there's nobody else in the room, and the thing that drives you, your spirit, your humanity, the thing that causes you to see the world the way you see the world, the thing that causes you to either trust or not trust people the way you do or you don't? What is the thing that you believe that drives your spirit?
I realized, and I know that you create your reality. Okay? You create your reality. The person next to you is seeing something else than what you are seeing. Both of you are looking both at the same thing, but my perception of that thing is different than that person. So I gotta own what's gonna come into my sphere. I gotta own everything that I'm seeing. You know what I mean? And be okay with that. I'm the creator of my life. Like, I just feel like every single person is a creator in their own right. I don't know why we're here. I don't know how we got here. This earth seems to be designed for us. Everything works together, right? Universe, all of this works together. The stars, everything is all connected. We are made up of the same material as stars. So it feels like there's divine, some sort of something out there that made this. I don't know who, I don't know why, but there's no way in the world he's going to play games with the people he has created. I just don't see that happening. It's not happening with the animals. So why is it happening with the humans? I'm just saying. Just saying.
I agree 100%. I've always said before, I think maybe in some of my other videos too, that Earth is this planet, but there are 8 billion different worlds on it, because each one of us has our own world.
Mm-hmm.
This world is whatever each one of us makes it.
Exactly.
And like you said, I could be sitting next to you right now looking at the same piece of whatever, and you're going to see something completely different than me. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to create something completely different in my world than you're going to create in your world. I have a completely different power over my world than you have over your world.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, there's a reason why amazing things happen for certain people. It's not that they're different or have a special, no, they understand that they are responsible and in charge of their life. They're not sitting here saying, someone's going to save me. I've got to wait on this. I got to wait on that. I need someone to fix me. I need someone to heal me. No, they have said, I am in charge. I got to take care of this. I will build it. You know what I mean? That's the person that amazing things happen for. It's nothing magical. They're not, someone's not, giving them these things automatically just because. No, it is all from within. That's just how I see it. And I say it because I'm tested and true. Like, because I live that way, things happen for me that way. It's just an automatic thing. I'm just constantly manifesting it in my life.
I agree 100%.
I'm not perfect. Negative things happen too, but I've created that too.
In some form or way, in some form, we've created the things that happen to us, whether directly, whether consciously or subconsciously. The things that happen are a result of our choices or our ways of thinking. I agree with that. Even like when I talk about how I went from where I was to where I am today, the only way, well, we're even going back further, when I would speak to my daughter's mom, my ex that I was married to, and I would try to ask her, why do you think the organization does this, or this? Or it was one time where I knew beforehand that they were going to announce that they were not inspired by Jehovah. And so I asked her, if I were to tell you that they were going to come out and say that they were not inspired by Jehovah God, would that give you pause in regards to how you feel about their leadership? Mm-hmm. And she said, yes.
Interesting.
But then when the material actually came out, it didn't matter at all. And so
that's why.
Much. So when I would talk to her about that afterwards, she would always say, you know what, you shouldn't think that way. You're thinking too much. You're questioning Jehovah. You shouldn't question Jehovah. And my response would always be, but if I shouldn't question him, why would he give me the ability to question him?
That's right. Exactly.
And so I would say, you know what? You can believe the way you want to believe. I even told her this while we were still married. You can believe the way you want to believe. But I don't think that the creator of everything would give me the power to think any thought if he didn't want me to be able to ask any question of him. And if it's true, he should not have a problem with me asking the question, and neither should the people in the organization. I don't think that's why I'm here. And I don't think that's what I said. I don't think God actually does anything for us. I said, I think God said, look, dude, and do that. I've already given you a freaking planet, and I've given you the most amazing mind of any being on that planet. What the hell else do you need me to do?
It's not
do it yourself. I've given you the power to create life. You can get with another person and create the most wonderful thing in the entire universe, which is another life form. And you can use your brain to create anything on this world, from the things that you have. You do not need me. Use your brain to do whatever you want to do.
That's right. Yeah.
So I don't understand why people are so hell-bent on thinking that they have to ask for enlightenment, or for physical things outside of their bodies. I would feel like if God loved everyone equally, then he would allow me access to the same information that he would allow the governing body to access. Otherwise, he's basically saying, I love the governing body more than I love you, Keith. But the Bible says, I love everyone equally. So somebody is bullshitting.
Exactly. Well said. Well said.
All right. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Why would they, think about it. If it were paradise-like conditions and we were there and everybody was perfect, is there going to be a governing body? Like, would he have just people that he's just, in cahoots with? That's it. And then they're having to play all these games with us? I don't think so. Like, all of that is weird. All of that is weird. No, he would have a direct relationship with you if that were even true, if that even were going to happen, a paradise, earth, whatever. It's weird because they even tell you that you have a relationship with God. You have a relationship with God. Really? Because last I heard, I had to get my food from you.
Right.
So what is this about?
So
and
when you
say it's a game of musical chairs. 1 minute he's out. Then it's Jehovah. Then it's Jesus and Jehovah. Then it's the governing body or the faithful under slave and Jehovah and Jesus. It's just too much. Who are we talking to? It's so messy.
So you said you went from reading the Bible, you went to the Hebrew Israelites, said that was too cultish.
Yep.
Was there any other organizations that you looked at besides those?
No, I turned off completely. I said, I realized the business behind it all with everything, all religion, all of it. So you know what? It all starts from this book. The Bible. It all starts from this book. This tool right here has caused so many wars, has put so many people against each other, has amassed so much wealth, has created so many divisions amongst people. Something's wrong with that book. I
agree.
Closed it up. Yeah, forget it.
I've had several conversations with my other Black friends, and I don't know if anyone in the chat is still Christian or not, but as a Black man, it is pretty much damn near impossible for me to consider myself a Christian. I wonder if, not to make this a whole Black people thing, but we are both people of color. So this is part of the conversation. I've always equated Black people who consign to the teachings of Christianity as being as insane as if I were to ask a Jewish person to conform to the teachings of the Nazis.
Mm.
No one asks a Jewish person, why don't you believe the things that the Nazis taught you? The main answer would be because the Nazis killed a shit ton of us because they thought we were inferior.
Right.
Christians killed a shit ton of Black people in the name of Christianity because that's what they taught us. I don't understand how that religion has such a foothold in the community of people that it has harmed more than any other community in the regions of people that study Christianity.
It's very sad. I'm with you. Same. I think and feel the same way about that. I just think it's highly ironic that you got Jesus out here, white, okay, supposed to be from the Middle East, out here, white, you know, all with this straight hair, scraggly hair, looking, you know, all of this. This is the image that they have, and we already know about, you know, the fact that, you know, white supremacy. This whole white supremacy thing, you know, it's all intertwined and connected. And, I just think that's another part of the business of Christianity.
It is. It is. It is. It is a way to control people in general, not just Black people, because Christianity controls other people too. I mean, obviously, it's one of the most widely followed religions on the planet. According to history, it was created as a means to control people flat out. Yeah. Period. Yeah. It was created as a means to control. Now, this Red Boy asked a very important question. I just happened to glance at the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just look at the chat for a second, Monique, and see if there's anything that you see as well. But I see Red Boy asked a really cool question. Why are so many JWs people of color? Now, I would like to know the ratios, because I know even in my own congregations, it was predominantly Black. Mm-hmm. But when I would go to the conventions, it would be mostly white. Most of the conventions that I would go to was always predominantly white, but the congregations were always predominantly Black. But wondering, that is a good question, because I would say, you know, in my own research, I think you've researched it as well. We both know that Charles Russell didn't think too highly of people of color. So I wonder what you would think, what reason would so many people of color have to follow a religion that was blatantly demeaning toward them?
Black people are a very soulful people. We create culture. We're culture and we create culture. And there's so many things tied to that culture, and we're very passionate people. All right. So I think that's part of it. So we will sensationalize something and make it firm forever. Like, I mean, how many like old like things do we carry? Like, I just think that that's a big part of it.
You know what? I want to talk to you about this topic. I think this would be a good show. I think this topic would be a good conversation to have solely devoted to itself. Okay. Maybe we can arrange that. After we get done with this hangout, let's talk about that. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, because that's definitely a big subject.
It's a huge subject. And I think it would be so cool to talk about. But let's talk about this, because you just went somewhere really cool. We have something else in common. And I don't know if everybody knows that, but we are both performers. We are both performing artists. Now, were you in the arts while you were in the congregation, in the organization?
Here's the interesting thing. I am an artist. I was born an artist. That will never escape me. That is who I am. It's just like having this hand on my wrist. Like, that is who I am, right? Never going to go away. That was one thing that they definitely were. They were not having it. Can't be, you know, out here performing and whatnot. But I still found ways to do it. Okay, in a small way. So like, I actually, I wrote songs. Like, I loved poetry, and so then I was, you know, still had some friends or whatever that I would connect with. This is before I got heavily indoctrinated, like super, like, you know, baptized and all this. And I had friends of mine that would make beats and stuff, so I would put my poetry to beats. Then I was writing songs. So like, I was doing all this stuff when I was a witness. That was a big thing for me. And even when I pioneered, I wrote an album and I released it online. Like, I released it on
Really?
There was another brother. Yep. I'm not going to out him on this channel because I don't know where he stands, because maybe he's in the process of leaving. So who knows? And I don't know what, you know, but he had an album on there. He was a ministerial servant, and the album is dope. He had a whole Boys to Men type vibe. Like, he made the beats himself. He wrote the songs. He sang it. He had a beautiful voice. Beautiful. There's one song I know, when I get married, that song, I'm gonna have it, and it has like a scripture in it, and I don't care, like, because you know, we couldn't do gospel, you know, like,
Right.
But he definitely wove in some witness stuff in his music. I have a song that called Eternity, and I use a couple of the lines from Life Without End in there. Yep. So it's online, like anybody can look it up. It's on YouTube or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, like that was something that I did, but that was the only thing really that I did that was like kind of low key.
Okay.
Now I'm full blown, like out here theater, you know, singing, dancing, acting, choreographing, writing. Writing is the main thing that I do, directing and whatnot. So, but that was definitely like, I couldn't do it. They really restricted me in that way.
I agree. I remember there was a brother, an elder in our congregation named Brother Bailey, and he would pick me up and take me out in field service with him.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody in the organization knew like that was this dancer. And Brother Bailey asked me one day, "What do you want to do? Do you want to be a dancer, or do you want to serve Jehovah?"
Wow.
I knew in my heart, I've always known I wanted to be a choreographer and a dancer. I always knew that. But this is how brainwashed I was. Well, I don't know if brainwash is the right word. This is how much I wanted to prove my allegiance to them just so I could have what I thought I needed to have. I told him that I didn't want to do it because I knew it would take me away from the time I needed to devote to Jehovah.
Oh God. Mm-hmm.
But I knew that's what he wanted to hear.
Right.
And I didn't believe it, but I was willing to say it and do the things that would go along with that lie. So even though it was a lie, I was doing what I was saying. So it was like, it was kind of true, but it was a lie. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm telling a lie, but I'm acting on behalf of that lie. So it kind of makes the lie true.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It suppressed my creativity for a really long time. Like, I didn't even start being as creative as I am now until I was like 25. You know what I mean? And after all that time, yeah, it was much more difficult to get there, but I finally got to where I am today. But you, on the other hand, what are you doing in the performing arts now? You have to give me some information on that. What's going on?
I love my life. I love my life. Like, I'm a playwright, okay. And where I am now with this is now a lot of my work has been viewed by different festivals and whatnot. So my work was selected this past year in Chicago. It was selected in Bloomington, Illinois. So they performed my plays out there. So that's definitely like, that's a good space to be in as a playwright. When people start doing your work, it's a good feeling. Down in Pennsylvania, they did one of my plays. I earned awards for these plays. I self-published 6 books, kids plays. 2 of them are for teenagers. It's a part 1 and part 2 series, and then these other books. I do workshops with my plays. with these books. We go into the schools, we do after school programs, we do summer programs. When I say we, is because I have a team. So I send out these actors that I worked with before and have hired them as teaching artists because I get contracts from different organizations and they go out and they do that. A lot of my like the plays that I do now, like I act in them, sing in them, dance in them. I perform in other people's productions. Yeah, like I'm constantly creating stuff. Like that's just what I do. I get opportunities because of the work I've done independently. So it's good. But the only thing is I'm in school now. You know, school is like the number one most important thing. Like people don't realize, like that's when you give that up for that organization. And it's very hard to explain to people why you're 34 years old without your associates. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm in the middle of getting this damn associates. And like, it took so long. 10 years ago, I left that organization, but I was struggling. Like when I left, I had absolutely nothing. So I had to start from the ground up and I had to be creative as hell. So all the abilities that I had, talents, whatever, I started monetizing on that immediately. I found creative ways to do it. I just did it. So I'm very
and I'm great. That's amazing. That is, you know me. I think that's so dope. That's so dope.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. You say when you left the organization, you had nothing. Why did you have nothing when you left the organization?
Because my whole life was wrapped up in that organization. My whole environment. That was my environment. Okay. So I was basically plucked right out of that. And I was by myself. So I had to figure out what to do. That was it.
So I know I've talked about on my channel, you know, not having parents that my mother was a Jehovah's Witness was my whole life. And then when I left, of course, I didn't have any contact with them at all. Is that something that's similar that happened with you as well?
Yes, but my mom plays games. My mom plays a lot of emotional games. So sometimes she's in, sometimes she's not. Sometimes she's in, sometimes she's not. You know, like with me. Like she'll be open to having a conversation, then she's not. Because, oh, you're disfellowship. And it's like, are you serious? All the bones in your closet, get out of here. Like, and I say that about everybody, you know, anyone who, you know, is in that organization and they want to turn their nose up to disfellowship people. They're the most guiltiest people ever. They're just hiding their bones. They're not going to the elders about their stuff. And they've done way worse stuff. So according to that organization, what I did wasn't even bad. Like, it's crazy. I didn't even do anything.
Right.
I didn't even do anything. I should have just went full out and did it. And
that's what I did.
You know,
I was getting accused. I said, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and hit. If I'm getting accused of hitting and I ain't hitting, I'm going. Might as well.
Right. I didn't even do anything. I mean, the last episode, yes, but I definitely felt like, you know, since Jehovah has my back, he's my father. He understands that, you know, this is why I did what I did. It didn't matter. It was literally that last meeting, that judicial committee, they sat there, they looked at me 10 minutes. They asked me like 2-3 questions and they were done. They already knew, they already made their mind up what was going to happen with me. 3 strikes, you're out. You're bad for business. You're bad for business because, you know, you did this thing with a person in the world. So now you're not representing the right way. You got to go. And we're going to show you what they say is tough love. If you're really repentant, you'll go to the meet. Get out of here. I'm not doing it. Not playing all these games, jumping jacks and back springs. We're not doing it. Yeah.
So you make like the most videos I've ever seen of anybody on YouTube. Why do you make so many videos? What are you trying to convey? Why do you have so much in you? What are you doing? Why are you making so many videos?
I don't know. This is the best way I know how to heal. I never dealt with it. With the fact that I didn't come to terms with the fact that I volunteered my life for some bull. I never faced that. It wasn't until now that I had to face it. So this is part of my growth. This is part of my journey. And what made me face it was doing a play in which I had to face it, because what was given to me was, so basically this was an assignment, right? As a playwright, what you do is you sign up for all different kinds of activities that keep you going and gives you ideas and inspiration and whatever. So I was fortunate enough to be selected for this 24-hour playwriting event. They picked 7 playwrights, and I was one of them in New York. And so I go up there, and they pick out of a hat the name of a director and 2 actors. They picked the names out of the hat. Okay. And they picked the theme out of a hat. The overall theme was conspiracy theories. So it was like aliens and reptilian people and all this different stuff. Well, I got the Denver airport. I was like, what am I? I've never been there. I don't know nothing about the Denver airport.
Oh my God. I have taken pictures of the crazy murals at the Denver airport myself. I was there.
Nuts?
Oh my God. That's all. Monique, we are going to have to do some more shows.
That is crazy.
Oh my God.
I was looking at these pictures. I'm like, this is Watchtower stuff. Like, it looks like the Watchtower. There's paradise, and then there's a fire behind it. There's these birds that are locked, that are in these glass cases, and there's little kids playing with the
caskets. Yeah.
Oh my God. And then
big green guy.
Yeah, it's very, and a lot of Armageddon stuff on the walls, very apocalyptic, weird stuff. But the way that they're drawn, it immediately triggered me seeing images from the books and the brochures and whatnot. And I was like, I have to make this character a witness. I don't know what else to do. I have to, because it's what I know, right? So once I made this character and I started putting her together, and I was explaining to the actor, I said, she was just like, as she's sitting there, because you had to really explain in detail how this should be. And you only got 24 hours, right? So I said, listen, you need to sit up straight and you need to be stiff. I said, you have to be robotic and you have to move your head like this. And as I'm explaining this, I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's so crazy I was in that organization. Like, oh my God. So it brought out a lot of things in me. Because then I had to do research that same night. Because once you get that assignment, you have to write it overnight, and then at 7 in the morning you have to submit the play. It has to be 10 pages that you write in the middle of the night. So I'm in the hotel in New York, and I'm just like Googling, and I'm like, this is crazy. I gotta make this character a witness. So then I do that, and they do the play the next day, and I'm explaining to them as they're rehearsing. I said, you have to be very robotic. I said, witnesses have a glazed look over their eyes. It's very like wide-eyed, and they smile a lot. And they try to flip everything that's going to sound like you're going to go against Jehovah. They're going to try to flip it and do it in a positive way. So you have to do all that. Like, I was like down to the micro behaviors. Like I said, you're slouching too much. You got to be stiff. Like it was nuts.
How did it turn out?
Great. I got a really good response. From that piece. And I submitted it to a bunch of different festivals. As a matter of fact, one of the directors there wanted to link up with me after. He's like, listen, I love how you really understand human relationships. Like, can we do some work further? Let's bring the minds together. And I would love to work with you on a future piece, because this was great. And I said, sure. And that's what those festivals and things are for. Is for, you build relationships, you build your work, people see how you work, how you think, and that's how you get exposure and stuff.
How did you feel watching that? Like after you had directed it, you were pissed.
I was pissed.
So let me ask you this. When you look into your heart, when you're thinking about how you really feel about all the time that you were in the organization, I know you were upset, but how do you really feel about what the organization did for, to, and took away from you?
I am facing it head on, and I'm making the world see my journey. I'm going in and out of emotions with it. I'm going in and out of emotions because on one hand, I can't deny that it happened because that's what I was doing for years up until July 14th. Okay. Even the word Jehovah, the word witness, all that was triggers for me. I'm like, like I don't want nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? If I even knew somebody was a Jehovah's Witness or associated with Jehovah's Witnesses in any way, like people would make mention, you know, like one of my coworkers is a Jehovah's Witness. I was like, I already in my mind said, check, I'm not even gonna be around that person.
Right.
Like, nothing to do with it. So this is I'm a strong-minded person, and I'm someone who takes responsibility. So I realize that that's an area that I have not taken responsibility in with addressing it for myself, so I could fully heal. I'm not done healing. So this is my healing journey. You know, my YouTube is my healing journey. I got to talk about, who am I going to talk about it to? There's nobody to talk about it.
Yeah,
right?
I feel you. I understand.
And they don't understand. I'm speaking Chinese. They're like, oh, God, that's sad. And I'm like, I don't think you get it. Like, there are people out here living like this. So let me talk to them. Me talking to you helps me. You know, like, that's just what this is.
So at the end of your YouTube time, because I remember you telling me when we were doing the warm up for this show, and I asked you, damn girl, why you make so many videos? You said something to the effect of, it's just all in there, and at one point it'll stop eventually.
It will.
When you get to that point where you think that you've said everything that you need to say, what do you want everyone to think about or learn from their experiences listening to Free Monique's channel?
To be very honest with you, it doesn't matter. I say that because this is my journey. So whatever they take from it is whatever they take from it. Does it make me happy when people say, oh, you know, yes. And I love that. I'm like, great, we here. But this is my journey. Everything is flowing out. And also I'm the type of person that always likes to encourage other people. So I feel good that people are saying they feel good. There's also people who hate what I'm saying, as you know. And the lurkers, everybody's commenting, whatever. But none of that is no never mind to me. I just need to get this out. Every aspect of it. Every aspect of that organization. Everything that was in my experience and my perspective, I need to get it out. So that's what this is for.
You want to I know there are some people that wanted to speak to you, right? We had several people that said, I cannot wait for this show because I got some questions I want to ask Free Monique.
Oh, goodness.
So hold on. I'm going to spam the channel with the number to my Skype because I can't give out my real number on YouTube. So if anybody has a question for this wonderful spirit here, I'm going to post the the number into the channel. This is it.
Brooklyn girl said green eggs and ham. You got it right here. Are you eating the green eggs? Don't eat that. Well, we don't want that. We don't want it. We're done. We're done here.
Well, I will say this. Even if no one calls, I was not expecting this conversation to go this well. This has been an amazing conversation. Yeah. And you know, when I watched a shit ton of YouTube, and when I was going through YouTube and I saw your channel and I saw your videos, I was like, dude, this person right here has so much to say. Like, I would love to have a conversation with this person. It's so genuine. You know what I mean? You can tell when people are out there saying shit just to try to get some YouTube fame and shit like that. But you can also tell when somebody is really trying to get something off their chest and maybe help some people. You know what I mean? And so I really got that from watching your channel. And I'll see, like, since you do 10 of them a day, I get the notification. I get the notifications all the time. So, you know, I'll be driving and I'll pop it, you know, I'll hit the notification and I'll see your video and I'm like, all right, got you. Yeah, bro. And then I'll be driving and come up again. I'm like, damn, this girl is so busy. Watch this one too. But I just want to say, really, thank you so much. For real, for taking the time to have this conversation with me. I think you have really helped so many. I mean, I have had a few shows on here, but the chat is so busy, dude. Like, this is the most busy my chat has ever been, for real.
Are you serious?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they are having full-blown conversations in the chat.
Your channel's popping. You got 5,000 something subscribers, still almost 6.
Yeah, I'm at almost 6. But it's the things you're saying is triggering so many feelings in people that everybody's having real conversations. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate. Somebody asked us, would we consider doing a meet and greet? Who asked that question?
Like organizing one?
Yeah.
I would. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Like,
no. Like, no.
This is the thing. The idea is awesome. I would love something like that, but I don't want everyone who would want to. I'm just saying. Is anybody here that shows up? Very upset.
I think somebody just tried to call. Let me call this person back. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It kind of went crazy. Oh, I think, well, I guess they hung up. Let's see. Let's try one more time.
Michelle Martin. Hi, Michelle Martin. I see you.
It's not.
She said, me. I asked, please have a meet and greet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Dave, I gotta shout you out. You are hilarious, bro. You are so funny. Like, every time you comment, I would be dying.
Yeah, I saw him. He was on my last one too. He had some real. I said we need to start calling you hilarious Dave, because this dude is hilarious, dude.
He is fun. Oh, Southern Boss Lady. Hi. Hi, Queen. Let's see here. Let me see.
Let's see who else
Free
is in
Spirit
here.
Love. Yep. Hi, Free Spirit Love. How you doing? Yeah, he is. Let's see.
Southern Boss Lady, you are hilarious. You always have. She does the most. All right, let's see. We got one here. Hold on.
Yeah, who's that?
All right. Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I am amazing. You have a question for Free Monique over here?
Well, Maybe I have more of a comment.
Okay.
This is for both of you. I sent the message through the chat, but it's so many you probably didn't see it.
Okay.
So, believe this or not, I thought about both of you. I'm an ex, for first of all, I'm an ex-JW. And my name is Angela. I had thoughts or dream or whatever you want to call it before you two agreed to do this thing, because I listened to both of you. Okay? And believe it or not, I am psychic. So I just got this thing where I think you two would make a great couple. And I'm also an event planner, so I agreed to do the wedding.
Miss Angela, you are too much. You're doing too much. Doing too much. I think I'm gonna have
Kendra right now.
You can't
doing too much.
You can't put people on the spot like that.
Too much.
Why you gotta put people on the spot like that, man? That's just as nice as that is. That is like you are really like
you just went there.
You didn't respond to my to the chat, so I thought maybe I could get your attention this way.
Yeah, you did it. Good shot. You definitely did it. Good job.
Miss Angela, you are fun.
Hey, I'm sorry, but not sorry. And I love you both. Just think about it, okay? I'm totally faded on there. You should have my number because I think you tried to call me back.
I did.
So just think about it, okay? Just think about it, okay?
Thank you so much for calling.
Angela, where do you live?
I love you both.
She said, "Where do you live, Miss Angela?"
I live in Illinois. I live in but we'll travel, okay?
She said she will travel. Okay, we got you. We got you.
Got you.
Okay, keep doing what you're doing because it's helping a lot of people, both of you, okay?
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She sounds sweet. Oh my goodness. Brooklyn girl. Don't play that Shulamite Maiden song. Please don't play that Shulamite Maiden song. Not gonna happen. Don't want it.
Oh man.
The worst. That sounded like some 3-year-old, like, no, get out of here.
That's funny. All right.
So funny.
What else we got in this chat? You know what? You come up with some funny phrases. That whole book bag scramble shit, that is the hilariousest thing. Where did that come from? What is that all about?
I don't know. Okay, I have a thing, right? Once I really get like fired up about something, either I'm fired up or I'm actually upset, right? I start rhyming and I start just saying things and people start laughing. I actually start getting a little bit mad when they start laughing because I'm like, don't laugh at me like I'm dead serious. And then I start laughing because they're laughing. And then it's just like, I guess it's comedy. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's just how I see things. So yeah, to me, all I imagine when I see witnesses at the door and they can't answer a question, they're doing a book bag scramble. They're like, let me pull this out. Stop. Question. Okay, you're done. It's over. Leave.
Have you ever had a Jehovah's Witness come to your door after you left?
No, I haven't. I'm waiting for that day to come.
I am waiting for that day to come.
I am waiting for the witnesses to come.
I am too.
My thing is, I want to ask them. I want to look them in the eye and say, "Are you happy? What are you doing? Honestly, why are you here?" I would love to have an honest intellectual conversation. Why is the Bible?
Hold on, we got another call.
Yes, Monica, I am NI.
Now, my phone is being a jerk. So hold on. Whoever this is, I am going to call you right back. I apologize for this, but hold on. Let me hit you right back, okay? I'm sorry. My phone is being real crazy right now.
Honest Day says we had at least 10 books and 100 watchtowers and awakes at our shuffle bag.
Did anybody ever feel guilty for throwing away Watchtower? Like, did anybody ever throw one away? I feel like
I had like 3 bins of Watchtowers from 2002. Get out of here. And I was using them, old ones, putting them on the bus and whatnot, the book bag scramble.
All right, hold on. Let's see here. Let me try to call this last caller back.
Scramble, that's right. Book bag scrambling them green eggs and ham. That is funny.
Okay, the last person that called, could you do me a favor and call back, please? My Skype is being a little weird, so I apologize for that. But if you could, please call back. Somebody said Monique makes a good omelet.
Yeah, y'all really like my omelets? You think I should do more videos with my omelets? Honestly, I make videos at random. As I feel it, I do it. So.
All right, let's see. Hello, are you here? Come on, Skype. Don't be this way. Don't be this way, Skype.
Monica says, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to use your phrases. Green eggs and ham. I love that. It is green eggs and ham. And that was a day that I was really pissed. I was really annoyed.
Call back one more time. I see what's wrong. Please just call back one more time. I am so sorry. Please call back one more time. All right. I'm sorry. What are you saying?
That day I was really irritated. Like there was some other stuff that happened that day, and one of these lurkers he just says something real stupid on top of me already being mad about something. I said, let me just bust out a video real quick. And then that's why I said green eggs and ham, and now it's a thing.
All right, we got you. How you doing? I'm sorry about that. My phone was being real sneaky right then. I'm sorry about that. Now, who do we have on the phone?
That's all right. That's okay. No problem at all.
Who is this?
This Southern Boss Lady.
Southern Boss Lady. What's going on? Here's another one starting. Look, Monique. Here's another one starting that stuff, man. Here's another.
Here we go.
Here we go. What you got to say? What you got to say, Boss Lady?
I got dressed up for this occasion.
Look,
she was getting her hair done, nails done. Yeah.
I got my hair did. I got my nails did.
We're gonna have to send her a link so we can see her on the Hangout. We're gonna have to see what you look like.
Right?
Not right now.
Yeah, I gotta get on Instagram and hashtag the pictures. I want to see y'all. You talk too much on these pictures.
I put my scarf on. I'm gonna take my scarf off.
She said she wants us to send her the link. She want to be on the panel for real. Okay, I see you. Southern Boss Lady. What you got for Monique? What you got for Monique? I know you got something to say to Monique. What you got?
Oh my God! I can't believe this is my first time ever doing this.
Mine too.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. Yeah, I just want to call and say I just love the two of you all.
Oh.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I love you.
I agree with the last caller.
Say what?
I agree with the last caller who said about the chemistry between the two of you. It is real. It is real. Y'all are just, I don't know, it's something about the two of you. And you both have this chemistry and it's strong and it's like you're both going in the same direction. You're both creative and just smart. And just, I'm running out of words. It's just like a match.
Wow. Well, Southern Boss Lady, y'all really know how to like set somebody up for rejection.
They're in the back of the hall mashing me.
I saw your message when you wanted to do a collab.
I saw that.
I read that comment when you wanted to do a collab with her, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope this happens. This has to happen. I said, this is it. This is it. This is it. I'm going to the wedding.
I will say though, and I do think that Monique and I could do several more shows. I think we have so much that we've gone through together in our own journeys that we could speak about a lot of things and have some really, I think the way that we talk to each other and with each other lends itself to us having some really good shows, dude. For real.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think, Monique?
Absolutely.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm so down. All right, do you have anything else? Does anybody that's watching the show have anything less embarrassing to say? The next call, can it please be somebody that is not playing freaking Dr. Ruthless or something like that?
Right. The back of the hall.
I know, right?
People call you, I get through. I had to call you like 4 times.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that, SBL. It was my phone being a jerk, but yeah, I really appreciate because you are like in all my shows too. And I've seen you on her comments so I really appreciate the support that you've given me and Monique. It's dope. And I really appreciate you being here tonight too.
I love both of you. I really do. And thanks for all that you do and helping
all of us ex, I tell you, it's really been a journey. It is a big journey, but we got to keep moving forward. And thank you for all that you do. And my girl Monique, that's my girl, it's my sister.
Yeah, I always look forward to your comments. I always look forward to it.
Thanks a lot.
She said thank you. All right.
Okay, we gotta take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Man, y'all really know how to make some people feel good, man. I really appreciate the support. And seeing you guys in here and have such a great time in the chat and the great conversations, man. Oh, somebody, Honest Dave says, "Where's Dr. Phil? Bring Tatiana on again." I haven't talked to Tatiana in a while, so I'm sure she probably has a lot to say too. That would probably be a good conversation to have too. We'll see what she's up to, but I haven't spoken with Tatiana in a minute, so we'll see what she's up to, see how everything is going with her. She may definitely want to come back and have another show. That would be cool. That'd be cool. You know who Tatiana is, don't you, Monique?
I do. I watched that Dr. Phil episode. It was interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
It was interesting. I agreed with you on a lot of things about Dr. Phil himself. I think he just doesn't get, he doesn't understand the depth. There's a lot to these Jehovah's Witness waters. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't understand those waters. So he was saying all kinds of things that, of course, the guy's just going to sit there and be a robot. Like, he's like, huh? Like, you don't. But there are things about that story that I do think is very complicated and complex. And I don't know. We only know what we're told, right? So, yeah.
Right. Right. So we'll somebody said Dr. Phil's an idiot. Well, she told the show that, she gave them a lot of things for them to research so they would have a little bit more understanding of the whole backstory, but they didn't do that. So
it's a show.
Yeah, it's a show. It's a show. The thing that pissed me off about it though was that there are a lot of people, even though it is just a show and done for entertainment, there are a lot of people who will see that and think that that is the way that you should talk to somebody that's in the organization if you want to help them come out. And that is not the way it's going to work. That was the whole point of me doing that video, was that people will see that, millions of people will see that episode and think, well, Dr. Phil is doing it, so it must be the right thing to do. And it is, and it really isn't. It's not going to work that way. Mm-hmm. So that was the whole point of me doing that, But yeah, we'll see what's up with that. We might be able to have another show with Tatiana. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. Fada says, see, she agrees with me. Hey, you won't need a chaperone. The chaperones, get out of here.
I know, right? You know what? When I was little, I actually chaperoned a couple that were in the organization. I was about 13. And they were going to look at their house because they were getting married. But they were like, Keith, can you be our chaperone? And I was like, technically, I wasn't supposed to be a chaperone because I was only 13. But actually, I was younger. I think I was about 11. So every time they went out together, they would always come pick me up so that I could be their little chaperone. When they went out to check on their houses, when they went out, I was always with them.
Yeah, that junk is so stupid.
Yeah, I know it. I mean, because if they wanted to do something, it wasn't like I would have known what they were doing anyway. They'd have been like, here's a quarter, go play Pac-Man. We'll be back in an hour.
There's so many, their laws and rules are not foolproof. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
All the way.
Makes no sense. Yeah. These comments are cracking me up right now.
I know. I'm looking at it and it's like, it's crazy. Everybody likes that book bag scramble shit. You're gonna have to coin that phrase. You're gonna have to get that shit trademarked.
I need to make a shirt, man, a shirt or a mug.
And that green eggs and ham, bro. That is that green eggs and ham.
I do not want green eggs and ham. I do not want them seeing my aunt. I do not want that. I don't want that. Off. Get it off my plate and done.
Well, we have been going here for almost 2 hours, so I'm not going to keep you on here all night. Monique, is there any last words that you would like to say to the audience? There's 52 people watching. It's been constantly around 52, which is really good, really good. What is there any? Is there any final words you'd like to say to everybody?
A couple things. So I just started an Instagram. Honestly, I'm seeing how important it is now that these things be spoken on. Yes, there's a lot of people in this ex-Jehovah's Witness community that are sharing videos, but I think what's important, and I didn't realize the power of this, I guess, walking into this, is that people need to see people who they can relate to. That's very important. And a lot of people are telling me that, you know, they can relate to what I'm saying. Some people is just cultural. I guess maybe they think I would be like a homegirl to them or whatever. I have an Instagram. I would like to start a movement with that Instagram and start hashtagging these things, so people can see other people who are surviving, leaving this organization. My Instagram is Free Monique 44.
Okay, so that's going to be at Free Monique 44.
Free Monique 44, and the hashtags I have is Book Bag Scramble. Okay, hashtag Free Monique Green Eggs and Ham. That way it separates it from just green eggs and ham. Put Free Monique Green Eggs and Ham. So you know, flip this haul. Okay, because I say that a lot. Flip this house, flip this haul, because you know that's what they do. What else? Yeah, just hashtag Free Monique, hashtag Free Monique 44 for the channel. There's another one on there. I don't want to miss it. Oh, you put green eggs in here, but put hashtag Free Monique Green Eggs in here. I know it's long. Yeah.
It is a long hashtag. Dang, somebody gonna have a stroke trying to write that down.
Yeah, that's pretty. Oh, we're not doing that. I say that a lot. Hashtag we're not doing that. Hashtag I don't want that. Or we don't want that. Hashtag we don't want that. Yep, we don't want that. We don't want that anymore. We're done.
Okay. Okay. Now at Free Monique 44 is your Instagram page, right? So they can go to Instagram, go to at Free Monique 44.
Yes.
And all these long ass hashtags.
Yes. Please tag yourself. Please tag yourself. I want to see you. I want to see the people who are looking at my videos. Or if you want to hashtag some green eggs and ham, do what you gotta do. Any of that would be cool. But I would like to start a movement, because you know what? There's a lot of like I got an email the other day, broke my heart. There is a kid, 17 years old, because he's a minor. He can't. He's already gone. Like he knows this is not the truth. And he told me that he holds on to my videos. Like he is constantly looking for them, because it keeps him strong. It's inspiration for him, because he keeps being made to go out and field service. He says that he can't not go because he's a minor, and his mother reminds him that every day. You're a minor, you're under my care. So like stuff like that, these kids are on Instagram, like we're motivation, we're inspiration for them. So I think that's important. I have a big place in my heart for kids. So that's why, you know, I'm pushing this, because I work with kids. I mean, I've been doing that for years, and they are our future. Okay. They're going to be your CNA. Okay. Like we got, the world needs, you know, we need to make sure we keep these kids, you know, growing into mature and smart and savvy adults, not just telling them what to do and force feeding them the Bible and the green eggs and ham.
Last question. This is by Honest Dave, Honest Conscious Dave. And surprisingly, it's not hilarious.
Okay.
He asks, any last suggestions for dealing with JW shunners, whether friends or family, if we're trying to reestablish relationships with them with our belief changed based on your experiences?
Okay.
I'll let you go first, or actually, you know what? Let me go first, and I'll let you have the last word.
Okay.
All right. Now, speaking from my personal experience, Dave, I extended the olive branch several times. several times. After the last time that I extended the olive branch, I felt that it was unfair for me to continue to allow myself to put myself in a position where I was allowing them to make me feel bad while they walked away feeling good about the fact that they were making me feel bad. So after I did that a couple of times, I had to say, okay, I am good with my spirit so that I can tell myself, you did everything that you could to try to reestablish that relationship. And now it's no longer heavy on your conscience that you could have done more because you've done all that you felt you could do. And at that point, the only experience that I've had that I can speak about was that I had to stop trying to reestablish the relationship and realize that it wasn't going to be reestablished. So I don't have any good advice about how to make this magical reestablishing of a relationship happen, because for me, it didn't happen. So that is the extent of my advice. So from my standpoint, I will say, try to reestablish the relationship, but at the same time, realize or be able to discern whether or not it's actually going to happen. And if you come to the realization that it is not, be strong enough to be okay with that and allow yourself to say, okay, it's not going to happen. I did my part and that's all I can do. Monique, it's on you. Last word.
So this is coming from, I just want you to be very clear, you know, the space I'm coming from. I've had a very hard life. Okay. Very hard life. My early years were hard. So my place, and I know a lot of people, they grew up in this organization and they have these tight-knit families and they were that 1950s, like, you know, whatever. I didn't come from that. I came from a lot of dysfunction, okay? Single parent family home. Mom was very emotionally abusive, a lot of different stuff going on. For me, I'm too good for that. I look at it like no organization can, you know, disfellowship me. That's dumb. These people are in a mental prison, unfortunately, by choice. That's not my problem. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I said in the video, when you are working somewhere and somebody else is a witness and they know you're quote unquote disfellowshipped or whatever, and they're the ones having to walk around and like avoid you and stuff, they're looking crazy. Okay. You are in charge of you. And I understand, you know, we have these loved ones and they're in that religion, and you know that if they knew it were fake, they would leave and all this stuff. You can't hold on to that. It's really not your place to try to force them or anything, because you already know how this is like iron around their head. You really should just live your life amazingly and be an example, because it'll make them think. Because they'll be like, I thought Satan was going to eat him up out here. Oh, he's surviving? How is this happening? You know, like people will start to put two and two together. Truth be told, you don't know if they would be sweating you like that if they got disfellowship and you were still in there. I mean, it's just, I'm just keeping it real. I don't care about those people anymore. I don't. Even my mom with the games. If she has to be cut off, then she has to be cut off. She's losing out on me. That's how I feel. She's losing out on me. Are you nuts? I live an amazing life. You're the one who's miserable. You know what I mean? So I just feel like that organization crushes people's self-esteem. And you have to learn how to love yourself that much more when you get out. And have that strength to be like, hey, I'm better than that. I don't care that you're shunning me. You have a problem. You're the one with the problem. I don't have the problem. You got the problem. And just have that viewpoint and just accept the fact that you may have to take a L on this. Take a loss. It is what it is. Live your best life. Be amazing. That's it.
And on that note, I think we will say, Monique, we have all loved having you here on this show for these last 2 hours. I did not expect us to talk that long. But thank you so much for coming. And you are really, I think you are really going to be a great light for a lot of people. I see the number of people who are responding to your videos. I see the comments that are being made. I see how people are connecting with you. And I just wish you all the best on your journey. And I hope that there is enough storage space for YouTube for all the videos you're going to make while you get all that information out. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to us having another show together really soon. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I'm going to say goodbye. And Monique, you have the last thing.
Thank you, guys. I just want to say thank y'all so much. And I read all of your comments, even the essays. Some of y'all write in the comments. I read all of your comments, and it's really motivational for me to keep going. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the lurkers. Keep lurking. Keep doing what you're doing. It gives me more material to work with, okay? Because every time they get on there saying some craziness, I'm like, oh, that's a subject I didn't even think about. Let me talk about that. So it's fabulous. Thank you, the lurkers. Yeah. And again, just I appreciate you. Thank you for letting me, be on your channel, be on your platform to talk. And I look forward to making videos with you soon.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you soon. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.